All right, thank you very much for joining me. This is Payne back again with another comparison video. So today I'm going to talk about two kind of games that are very similar, but basically, like, I don't know, it's hard to know which one is better. So you've got Final Fight or Streets of Rage. I think Streets of Rage was the Mega Drive's, you know, like go-to beat 'em up. Streets of Rage won. And Final Fight, maybe the Super Nintendo's go-to beat 'em up. I don't know. The Super Nintendo has loads of them, like. But like as regards like exclusives to the systems, I think those two are good for comparisons. Now, if we look at the kind of two games, Final Fight is a lot older than Streets of Rage, I think. It seems a lot older anyway, because Final Fight seems to be like the first kind of, you know, like Street Fighter 2 was the first like really good 2D fighting game, for me anyway. And Final Fight seems to be like the first like really good kind of sideward scrolling beat 'em up. I mean, there was Double Dragon before that, you know, there was Renegade, there was all these different sort of like side scrolling beat 'em ups, but they weren't really good. Final Fight was really good. So if you think about it that way, Final Fight was sort of like the first kind of really good one to do it. But then as regard that, Final Fight was an arcade game, so obviously the arcades are going to be superior to the Super Nintendo and the Mega Drive ones. The one problem with comparing like Streets of Rage on the arcade to the Final Fight Super Nintendo is the Final Fight in Super Nintendo doesn't have two players, so then Streets of Rage for me wins straight away. As regards graphics, the graphics are probably better in Final Fight, again because it's an arcade game. The characters are a lot bigger, the environments seem to be a lot more detailed, they don't seem to be as repeated or seemingly repeated as much as Streets of Rage are. But for me, I prefer the graphics in Streets of Rage than Final Fight. I know the graphics in Final Fight are superior, but I prefer the graphics in Streets of Rage. The sound, for me, Streets of Rage wins hands down here. The sound in Streets of Rage, the music is excellent in Streets of Rage. I love it. First stage and the beach stage are excellent as well. I gotta say, the music in Final Fight doesn't really resonate with me as much as Streets of Rage, simply because I can't recall. I've played Final Fight loads of times, but I can't recall any of the music now, whereas in Streets of Rage I could easily hum the tunes over and over again. Gameplay, I think the gameplay is actually better in Streets of Rage as well. Final Fight is good, but it seems to be, I don't know, the characters are bigger. The characters are a lot bigger in Final Fight, but it doesn't seem to be, the gameplay doesn't seem to be as polished as in Streets of Rage, particularly with two players as well. In Streets of Rage, it's easy to get like surrounded by enemies, but once you kind of figure it out, it's quite easy to handle them. Streets of Rage seems to be longer for me as well. Maybe it is, I don't know, but I don't know. It seems to be a slightly longer game than Final Fight as well. I know some of the Final Fight I think was extended. The Super Nintendo version I think was given extra stuff or just to make it a little bit longer, because arcade games, you know, like they're really difficult, so they want you to pop in money, so they make it really hard. Not to say Streets of Rage isn't hard as well. It is difficult, but yeah, for me the gameplay is better in Streets of Rage as well. I don't know what it is. Yeah, it just seems to be better. I don't know, it's more enjoyable. And then like overall then, for me, it's got to be Streets of Rage for me. Absolutely love it. The first one, I like the first one better than the second one and the third one as well. I like the three characters. My go-to character is probably Adam, just because he has the long reach. He's not as fast as the other two, but him or Blaze. I don't really like Axel. And then in Final Fight then, I don't really have a go-to character. Probably Cody or Guy. I don't like Hager at all. He's too slow. But yeah, so Streets of Rage. So what are your thoughts on this? It's an interesting question if you think about it. It's quite difficult because like side by side, Final Fight looks like the better game. Like it has got better graphics. You know, like the animations are probably a bit better as well. But actually, in fact, I think Streets of Rage is actually the better game. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. So if you want to write a comment in the comment section below, which do you think is a better game, Streets of Rage or Final Fight? Or if you want to do your own video response, maybe you think Final Fight is better. You want to argue the Final Fight cause against my champion of the Streets of Rage cause. I'd love to hear your thoughts. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.